Most people get this wrong when they try to start a company in Mexico. They think it is just about registering a name and opening a bank account. But here's the truth no one tells you. Mexico has a structured legal system, and if you skip even one step, your company can get delayed for weeks, or even rejected completely. And here's the biggest mistake you need to avoid. Many entrepreneurs rush into incorporation without understanding tax registration, company structure, or notary requirements. That one mistake alone can block your entire business launch. In this video, you are going to learn exactly how to start a company in Mexico step by step in 2026. I will break down everything in simple language so even if you have zero legal experience, you can follow it. You will learn the legal structures, registration process, tax system, costs, documents, and practical steps foreigners and locals use to launch companies successfully in Mexico. And stay until the end, because I will also show you how foreigners legally own businesses in Mexico without living there full time, and how to avoid the most expensive beginner mistakes. Let's start from the beginning. The first thing you need to understand is that Mexico has a formal company registration system that involves both legal and tax authorities. Unlike some countries where registration is simple and online, Mexico requires coordination between multiple institutions. So before anything else, you need to choose your business structure. The most common company structure in Mexico is called S.A. de C.V., which stands for Sociedad Anónima de Capital Variable. This is similar to a limited liability company in other countries. It is flexible, widely accepted, and suitable for most businesses. Then there is SDRL, which is similar but often used for smaller or more controlled partnerships. It gives more flexibility in ownership, but is slightly more structured in terms of partners. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most foreign entrepreneurs choose S.A. de C.V. because it is easier to scale and widely recognized by banks and investors. But here's the problem. Choosing the wrong structure can affect your taxes, ownership flexibility, and even banking approval later. So you need to choose carefully based on your long-term goals, not just ease. Let's make it simple. If you are planning a startup, e-commerce business, or service company like consulting or marketing, S.A. de C.V. is usually the safest choice. Now once you choose your structure, the next step is choosing your company name. In Mexico, your company name must be approved by the Ministry of Economy. This is done through a name reservation process. You submit your proposed name and wait for approval. For example, if someone named Alex wants to start a digital agency called Bright Media Mexico, he must first check if that name is available and legally approved. But here's the problem. Even if the name seems unique, it may already be registered or too similar to an existing company. That is why having multiple name options ready is very important. Once your name is approved, you move to one of the most important steps in the entire process: drafting the company bylaws. These bylaws are called Estatutos Sociales in Mexico.oe. This document defines your company structure, ownership percentages, responsibilities, decision-making rules, and operational framework. Think of it like the constitution of your company. Now here's where most people fail. They use generic templates without customizing them for their business. That leads to problems later when partners disagree or when banks review the structure. For example, Jake and John may start a business together. If their bylaws are unclear about decision authority, they may face disputes later that slow down operations. So this step is not just paperwork. It is your legal foundation. After drafting the bylaws, the next step is notarization. In Mexico, company formation must be completed in front of a notary public. This is not optional. The notary is a legal authority who validates your documents and ensures compliance. You will sign your incorporation documents in front of the notary, and they will officially register your company deed. Now here's the key insight. This is one of the steps where delays often happen. If your documents are incomplete or inconsistent, the notary will reject or delay the process. So preparation is everything here. Once notarized, your company is officially formed at the legal level. But we are not done yet. Next comes registration with the Public Registry of Commerce. This is where your company becomes officially recognized in the Mexican business system. Without this step, your company is not fully operational in the eyes of the government. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many entrepreneurs think they can start operating immediately after notarization. But technically, you still need tax registration to legally invoice clients. So the next step is extremely important. You must register with the Mexican Tax Authority, known as SAT. SAT issues your tax identification number called RFC. Without RFC, you cannot issue invoices, hire employees, or open a proper business bank account. For example, if a company like John's Consulting Firm wants to bill clients, it must have an active RFC number. But here's the problem. That registration requires accurate documentation and sometimes biometric verification. If there are inconsistencies in your company data, your registration can be delayed. So attention to detail is critical. Once you receive your RFC, your company is now officially active in the tax system. Now let's talk about banking. Opening a business bank account in Mexico is a major step. Banks require your incorporation documents, RFC, proof of address, and identification documents. Popular banks include BBVA, Banorte, and Santander. But here's the challenge. Some banks require physical presence of shareholders, especially for foreign-owned companies. This is where planning matters. Now let's address an important question. Can foreigners start companies in Mexico? Yes, they can. Foreigners are allowed to own companies in Mexico. However, in some cases, you may need a legal representative or local partner, depending on your business activity and structure. For example, if a foreign entrepreneur wants to open a tourism company or import-export business, additional permits may be required. But in most standard service-based businesses, foreigners can fully own companies. Now here's something most people don't realize. Mexico has regional differences in business processing. Some states process registrations faster than others. For example, Mexico City has a strong administrative system, but can be slower due to volume. Other regions may be faster, but less predictable. So choosing where to incorporate can impact your timeline. Now, let's talk about costs. Starting a company in Mexico is not extremely expensive, but it does involve several components. You will have notary fees, legal fees, registration costs, and accountant fees. The biggest ongoing cost is accounting compliance. Monthly bookkeeping and tax filing are mandatory for active companies. And here's the key insight. Most beginners underestimate ongoing compliance costs and focus only on setup. But in reality, maintaining the company is where most responsibilities lie. Now let's simplify the entire process into a clear sequence so it sticks in your mind. First, choose your company structure. Second, reserve your company name. Third, draft your bylaws. Fourth, notarize your company formation. Fifth, register with the Public Registry of Commerce. Sixth, obtain your RFC from SAT. Seventh, open a business bank account. And eighth, maintain tax compliance with ongoing accounting. That is the full legal pathway. Now let's go over the most common mistakes people make. The first mistake is using generic legal documents without customization. The second mistake is skipping tax registration planning. The third mistake is not understanding banking requirements early enough. And the fourth mistake is ignoring ongoing compliance after incorporation. Most business problems in Mexico do not come from setup. They come from maintenance and compliance issues afterward. Now here is the most important insight you need to remember. Mexico rewards businesses that follow the system correctly. If you follow each step properly, the process is very structured and reliable. But if you try to skip steps, you will face delays and administrative problems. So the mindset you need is simple. Follow the system step by step. Not fast, but correctly. Now let's summarize everything clearly. To start a company in Mexico, you choose your structure, reserve your company name, draft bylaws, notarize incorporation, register with the public registry, obtain your RFC from SAT, open a bank account, and maintain ongoing tax compliance. If you follow this sequence correctly, you can legally operate a company in Mexico in 2026 without unnecessary delays or legal issues. And here is the benefit. Mexico is one of the strongest business hubs in Latin America, with access to both North and South American markets. That means strong opportunities for growth if your company is structured correctly. So take your time, follow each step carefully, and focus on long-term compliance. If you found this guide helpful, like the video, leave a comment with your questions, and subscribe for more step-by-step global business setup guides. It really helps you stay updated with international business systems.